Life could be worse. No, not really. This is the worst.
This is the worst.
This is the worst. Yeah.
You guys, I have a new plant to show you, and you don't understand how much I appreciate this plant, especially because of how it got to me. So I've had this plant in my shopping cart for an import for about 3 months now. Like, that's such a long time. I kind of check up on it every week or so, but I just didn't place the order. And as much as I've been kind of eyeing it, I haven't really verbalized it. Recently, this local plant person followed me on Instagram, and I've seen her on our local Facebook groups a few times. So of course I follow her back. She has an amazing plant collection. But here's the crazy part. She posted this plant a week after. So last week on Tuesday, I believe, this plant was on her story for sale. Like, what are the chances? I have yet to see this plant locally at our local nurseries or even local collectors. So this is a philodendron SP silver or Columbia, and that's the power of manifestation, and your plant will find you.
Snot girl, I think you dropped something. My jaw.
All the things I didn't need to say, I didn't need to do.
Why would I listen to you? It's about to make me mad, right?
It'll look better once the plant fills up the moss pool.
So I filled up the moss pole, but it does have some bald spots, so I am going to cut it and extend it. I haven't decided if I want to pot it back up at the bottom or if I want to just separate it and start a new plant. That way I'll have two Adansoniis.
He told me throw it back with the bow. So I took his mug from his lap with the bow. Boy, come and make this ass fat. And no, we can't talk if you ain't spinning right. See, I miss nothing from that back.
So let me show you how I keep it warm and humid. I use this utility space heater that I purchased on Amazon, and I do have it linked. It's really powerful and it's worked well for me so far. Someone commented on my winter prep video and they said that they use a radiator space heater instead of a regular space heater and that it helps with the humidity, so y'all might want to try that. And this humidifier, I try to keep the moss poles consistently moist, although I suck at doing that, but it does kind of help. And that's how I manage to keep my greenhouse this warm and humid. It's not the best thing, but it works. So day 2 of snow. Let's see how the greenhouse is doing. It feels a lot colder today, so I'm hoping everything's okay. Well, the thermometer died, so I can't show y'all. It does feel a bit cooler in here today. Yesterday, the temperature was 66 degrees. My guess is that today is probably 60 or in the upper 50s. That's still a good temperature range for houseplants, so the greenhouse seems to be happy.
I'm going to show you a plant that I'm really proud of, and I'm going to tell you why. This is my beautiful black velvet alocasia, and this plant was a rehab. It had nothing, and this is the first alocasia that I've ever grown to have multiple leaves all by myself, and there's the newest one. This plant is holding on for dear life, but it has new growth. That first video was December 6th, and this is what it looks like on February 7th. It's still going, it's kicking, it's doing fabulous. Here's the #1 reason why I use tap water for a lot of my houseplants. And it's not going to be what you think. It's simply because I am lazy and don't feel like making fancy water most of the time. Also, it's the most convenient and accessible.
Tell me something that's an absolute flex to a niche group but means nothing to the majority.
This has been alive, living here under a vent with just tap water, no humidity, and yeah. This is what I got. It's a little Albo Syngonium. It's so cute.
Watering my hanging plants today. Much better.
This is a Hoya carnosa.
Oh my gosh, we have an update. I did end up rooting this little plant in perlite. It rooted very well, and it has 2 new leaves. You can also see a little growth point right there. And I just And I just recently repotted this into the pot you see here. Would I advise buying a cutting of such an expensive plant? It's not for the faint of heart, but it worked out for me, and I'm so happy.
What's going on? What's happening?
Do you ever hear the term crawling plants and wonder what the heck is that? I got you. Here's a visual example of a crawling plant. With these, you just want to make sure you pot them with enough room, because as you see, this is where the new leaf is going to emerge, and they don't need a super deep pot, but more so shallow and definitely wide.
And do not bury the stump.
Crawling plant, wide shallow pot. I want to talk to you guys about some hybrid plants. This right here is a philodendron melanochrysum. It's a climbing plant, and I will show you the other parent. Just take a minute. This is a philodendron gloriosum. It's a crawling plant, and those two combined made a plant called the philodendron glorious. So this guy took on the characteristic of the first plant. It is a climber. Leaf shape, I'd say, is somewhere in the middle between the elongation of the Milano and a little bit round like the gloriosum. And as it matures, it gets more and more of that sparkly veination. And this plant is much easier to take care of. Congratulations to the happy parents. Hey Plant Talk, I want to show you what spider mites do to leaves so you can identify them. I'm not really going to go into how to treat them, but check this out. Okay, this is like a severe case of leaf damage. It almost looks like dusty and translucent. Oftentimes you will see them on the back, but it doesn't mean that they won't do damage on the front and that you won't even see them on the front. You know, it could happen both ways. And they just love velvety leaves, especially with these little rivets. Good luck.
Hey guys, I'm going to take you through an entire week of watering plants. That means every day I'm going to show you the plants that I water. Not all my plants are on a schedule, so I figured it might be interesting for you guys to see. We just repotted these ones, so of course we're going to water them. We're going to go ahead and water this guy. One more plant to water, which is going to bring to a total of 5 plants that I watered today. Hey, 5 plants, not bad. So here's a good example. If you water a plant and you think it's fully saturated, if you kind of like move your finger through the soil, you can see how that's still dry. So that means it needs more water. Here's the next plant that I need to water. And then we'll wait until we see water coming out of the bottom. So that's a total of 5 plants. Pretty sure 5 plants. Come back tomorrow. Okay, so I forgot to tell you guys, I watered this plant today and it has a new leaf. So that's a total of 2 plants today. Pretty good.
So on this day, I watered my Cissus striata, and then you'll see here in a second my Hoya polyneura. Today, I only watered 2 plants. Not bad. And of course, the leaves need to get a shower too. On the next day, we have 2 plants that I recently bought and repotted, so we watered that. Now today, we have a mounted orchid, and this is how I water them. You can soak them, but that's what I do. And then we have Miss Thai Constellation, getting her a nice shower and clean leaves. Then we have this little Hoya Chelsea. Look at that water drain, putting Miss Thai back. Next we have my really big Epipremnum pinnatum, gotta shower the leaves again. So a total of 4 plants, woohoo! So I realize this wasn't quite a full week, but I hope it gave you guys a good idea of how many plants I'm watering in a week. It ranges between like 5 to 2. So anyways, hope you guys find this helpful and gives you an idea. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.